Now, there seems to be many legal challenges, of course, to the emergency rule in Rivers State, and none of them have withstood judicial scrutiny. Now, in your own understanding, do you agree with this latest ruling?
Well, the courts said that it lacks jurisdiction. And in legal matters, especially when it comes to the court in Nigeria,
right,
the issue of jurisdiction is highly germane and fundamental. The courts can suo moto deny jurisdiction, and also parties can bring up the issue of jurisdiction. And if the court lacks jurisdiction, whatever order, whatever declaration it makes becomes invalid and cannot be implemented because the court lacks jurisdiction. Now, going to your question about whether I agree with the decision of the court or not, the decision of the court is binding, and I'm sure that the court reached that decision as a result of Section 232, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended.
Now, on Thursday, right, the same courts also rejected a contest to the president's power to declare emergency rule in Rivers State to begin with. So now, was this also, a sound legal opinion?
Yes, well, the position of the law is as per the Section 232(1) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria talks about when there is a dispute between the federal government and the state government.
Right.
The court that has jurisdiction is the Supreme Court. And don't forget that the first decision and this second one that we're talking about, stems from the decision of it stems from the decision of the president of the Nigerian country to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. And if that decision is to be challenged, the appropriate place to go to is the Supreme Court of Nigeria.
Now, Todimu, when we speak about law every now and again in Nigeria, it tends to be a dicey situation as to when something is law-abiding and when it is not. So, based on the conversation we're having now, are there likely grounds on which these matters could go on to appeal? And of course, would the outcome probably be overturned?
Well, like you rightly opined, you will see that in Nigeria, or everywhere anyway, in jurisprudence, you have a right of appeal. And since they have a right of appeal, they can approach an appellate court to overturn the decision of the lower court. Now, having said that, what is is this decision faulty in law? If you juxtapose it with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I believe that the decision of the judge is right. Now, it depends. If it gets to the appellate court in its reasoning can now explore some other factors, public interest, and also decided cases in reaching a decision whether the lower court has jurisdiction, or it can also further direct that the matter be moved to the Supreme Court for proper adjudication.
All right, let's see where we can go from that. Now, in terms of advice, right? What would be your advice to some of the interested parties seeking some kind of justice in the Rivers, matter? What exactly should they do, since they seem right now to be losing on all legal fronts?
Well, the court has directed that it lacks jurisdiction, and ordinarily, he has also advised the lawyer to do proper research. If I were in that shoes, my advice to them would be to approach the appropriate court, to approach the appropriate court for remedy. Because if they feel that there's a breach, and in law, when there is a breach, there is always a remedy. So the appropriate thing to do at this point is to approach the Supreme Court for, since the Supreme Court has jurisdiction, then it is high time that they go to the Supreme Court and ensure that their processes are proper before the court. And of course, the court would have no option than to explore and view their submissions and make a declaration. So I think the Supreme Court is the proper place to go.
Todimu, thank you so much for your insights on this matter.